obviously, if we can get that large influx of players to come in at the beginning, how do you plan on keeping them there? Obviously, gameplay is important, but we have a large community, or you guys have a large community fund set aside for community rewards, arena rewards, leaderboard, and then you also have the content creator program. Can you just share how you're planning on implementing a whole bunch of these different strategies to really retain just an entire ecosystem of gamers and content creators?
Yeah, so I mean, incentivization in any business is a huge proponent of a marketing strategy, right? Like it's been tried, it's been tested. As long as you have a really good product, if you can get them into the funnel, the product should do the talking and keep them engaged. And so, as you said, first and foremost, it has to be a fun gaming experience, and that's why we put so much time and effort over the last 6 months. We could have just said, screw it, we're launching with what we've got, but we wanted to make sure that every one of the games was sticky. And so there's been a lot of effort into that. But getting people into the top of the funnel is incentivizing them is a huge way that we're going to do that. And that was always the plan. We portioned off this million ILV for things like in-game rewards and tournaments and the potential of airdrops. We'd already done a couple of airdrops, and so that is they're the main ones that we're trying to do in terms of getting people in. And it's kind of interesting, right? Because like in crypto, that's going to be the biggest driver, right? Like probably in a really up way, more of a driver than the actual gameplay is going to be what are the incentives? What do I get out of it, right? In playing these games, which, this is what I say to the team, right? Like you can't fight against that. If that's what we're playing with, that's what we're playing, right? Like don't, you got to work in the realms of what you've got in front of you. And so that's for the crypto people. What I think will be more interesting is mainstream, because I see a steady flow of mainstream users starting to come in and they'll want to test out games. There'll be a lot of content creators criticizing, saying like, oh, NFTs are bad and all of that kind of stuff. But as new and really good quality games start coming out, you're going to get this slow trickle of these mainstream gamers that don't know what an airdrop is. Right? They genuinely, they're not going onto some website, connecting up their wallet and saying, yes, sign me up for when you do a drop. They don't know a point system or whatever. And so for those guys, it's either going to be traditional funnels like going and teaming up with content creators and esports teams, maybe even traditional advertising, like literally going onto different platforms, utilizing a whole bunch of really rich media content like cinematics, and getting players to come in through those means. But what I think will be more interesting is like who gets that right, because I feel like a lot of the games right now in this space are set up to attract the crypto user, right? Like the crypto gamer. It's just throw money at them and they'll come. And if the game, then keep throwing money at them and they'll stay, right? Like that's a very rudimentary way of looking at the marketing efforts that we're going to need over the next 3, 4, 5 years. Certainly effective now, but I think it gets less and less and less effective as time goes on. And what I think will be really interesting is the teams that are able to capitalize on this inflow of traditional mainstream gamers and keeping them engaged without any sort of financial reward.